Okay.
Sharif tweeted out that his surgery was going to be this morning. Has he gotten through that okay?
He's with surgery now. We haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
So, but he is in surgery.
Okay. Is there, Chris has had cramps in 2 games now. Is there a plan to be proactive going forward to avoid that?
Eat better, hydrate yourself better. Yeah, that's the plan. That's been the plan since he's arrived on campus. So that's always different players have different things that they got to work on, and and I think his is hydration and nutrition, and hopefully he's doing those things.
Has that been a problem in practice too, or just those 2 games?
I haven't seen anything in practice. Of course, we went probably 2.5 weeks of not a lot of long practices against each other because we were so beat up and hurt. But over the last 3 weeks, practices have really cranked up. But I haven't seen anything in practice.
When you went back and looked at the Notre Dame tape, how much did the defense at the end of that game contribute to?
Well, defense, what we did defensively had a lot to do with it. The last 7.5 minutes of the first half, holding Notre Dame scoreless, and then the last 3:40 of the game holding them scoreless. We're down 5 with 3.5 minutes to go without the ball, and found a way to win. So that's the positives of the guys hopefully gaining some confidence that when shooting's not there, when offense is stagnant, they know how to win games. And that's why that game was critical. It was critical to, 1, play the game to begin with, but then 2, to be able to win the way we won. Hopefully we can build some confidence out of it, because now we hit a Belmont team that is as good offensively as any team we've played. I mean, in my mind, efficiency-wise, it's like Michigan State. They transition extremely hard. They've got a lot of guys on the floor that can shoot the 3. They're top 5 in the country in assists. They get 20 assists a game. They really move the ball and pass the ball at a high level. I've known Coach Bird a long time. I've got great respect for him and his program, and so it's a huge test for us coming out of finals. So hopefully we can build on part of what we did defensively against Notre Dame.
Were there common themes during those good defensive stretches of what you were doing well as a team?
No, just all the things that we like to do. I think we were into gaps well. We had good ball pressure. We kept people in front of us. We contested shots. We rebounded the ball. Teams are, and we're seeing it on film and playing us. And I'd be the same way playing against us. Our transition game, we have a high-level transition game. And so if you go to the glass, you got to know that could open up even more transition for us. And I think what we saw in the Notre Dame game, they opted to get back. And so it did take away our transition. Our scoring was down. So our half-court execution has got to improve. It's got to get better, and we're working on that. But I think it puts in the light how teams are trying to play against us, because if you crash and we get it, then it really favors us in transition. If you get back, then you're taking away your opportunities to get second shots. And so it depends on what teams do, but Belmont's going to run, make, miss, or indifferent, and so transition defense is going to be huge for us.
What about attacking zone defense?
Well, we've been pretty good up until the Notre Dame game. The Notre Dame game, in fact, Notre Dame went to it 3 or 4 times, and we scored 3 or 4 straight times the first time they went zone. They got out of it, went man. Now when they went back with it inside 10 minutes, we got very stagnant. We didn't move, we didn't cut, the ball didn't move, the ball never got inside the 3-point line. Big stood, guard stood, and when you do that against the zone, things don't work well. So, there's not huge concerns there other than whether it's zone or man. The ball's got to continue to move, and body's got to continue to move. That's ball movement and people movement. Those are the hardest things to guard. And late in the game, we didn't do either.
Going back to the transition, you're with teams not going after offensive boards so much, trying to slow the game down. Do you feel like it would be good preparation for once you guys get into March, when the games maybe start to get a bit slower?
Well, right now we're a long way from March, but I don't know if games get slower in March. I'd have to look at that. I mean, we've played no different when we get to March. We're not going to change who we are. We're going to be up tempo. We're going to be fast. Now, if teams decide to take that away again, that's fine. They can do that, but now they're taking away their second shot opportunities. And so it's a give and take. It's just about who you are. Do you do better than what the team you're playing against? And we're going to be a transition team, and we're going to put heat on you transition-wise. And now what we've got to improve on is that when you take our transition away, is really executing at half court. And so we're doing as much as we can on screening and cutting and ball movement and execution. We got a lot of young guys that are just trying to figure those things out. So, I hope the time we get to March, we're a much better team, and I hope the time we get to March, we're going to be much, much better in the half court. Right now, that's still a work in progress.
What have you told Moses about his free throws right now?
Well, we're just trying to help him as much as we can, filming him and going through a lot of different things with him. We're going to watch film again with him today. We've been waiting for finals to get over for him. It's been a busy time for our guys this week, but the next couple of days we'll really dive into that because he's somebody that he's got such an explosive second jump. He's going to get fouled a lot, and we want to get the ball to him inside. So I think he's been a little bit slower getting the ball to the rim than what he was a couple of weeks ago. So we want him to be more and ones than they are anything else, so he at least gets that dunk and that putback. We're going to continue to get better with our lobs to him, especially whether it be in transition or at the half court. But foul shooting, it can be a mental thing. He's got some issues that he's got to continue to work on and keeping the ball on his right side. So just breaking some long-term habits that he's had of getting the ball in the middle of his head and almost to the left side of his head. He's got to keep it on the right side, and then you gain confidence through making some. And he's getting that. He's starting to do that in practice. Now I think it's one of those things. He just needs to feel good about gameplay of making some free throws in gameplay, and that'll, I think, hopefully help moving him forward.
Have teams adjusted their approach to playing him?
I know they're fouling him harder, which we told him that would happen in missing free throws, but I don't know if they've playing him any differently. We're not seeing some teams double, some teams don't double. So I think more than how teams are guarding him, it's him getting adjusted to this level and the competition, and this is the post move I need to use, and those type of things. I think it's more on Mo than it is really how people are guarding him.
Shaffer is back from injury now. How do you think Cody Riley's going to progress?
Well, he's good. He's about 6 games in, 5-6 games in now, and sometimes we forget he's just 5-6 games into his freshman year. So he's just started college basketball, so he's starting to get in much better shape. We get him back like we had him in February of a year ago, and his weight's where we want it, his strength is where we want it. It's now just getting those reps. Like I think you're seeing him miss some things inside and his timing. A lot of those are timing things of just not playing a lot in games. It's practice is so much different than gameplay. So I'm hoping as he continues to get more minutes in games, his timing will get done because he's such a go-to guy in the post for us. He's a big that can play on the perimeter. I think he can do a lot of things in and around the basket. We missed 18 shots inside the charge arc against Notre Dame. That's not characteristic of who we are. So we've got to do a better job, both guards and bigs, at finishing at the rim, because I think we got guys both in the backcourt and the front court are very good at getting to the rim. Now we got to finish those. We can't be missing 18 of them from point blank.
Jalen Hill's energy defensively.
Well, Jalen Hill's a huge key for us. I thought he graded out as well as anybody on our team in the Notre Dame game when you combine both offense and defense. I thought he graded the highest defensively and offensively. His basketball IQ of knowing when to go, when to pass. He did a great job in our zone of getting us a couple good shots. He does a good job. He's probably our best screener. So I thought it was one of his best games. And we've talked about Prince's play at the end. We talked about Jay keeping the guard in front of him and not getting beat on a blow by. We talked about Chris making the shot, but the biggest play of the game was Jalen Hill blocking the shot, and it was a defensive play. So Jay is, I think, getting more comfortable as well. He's just 9 games into his college career, so I think the more timing he gets, it's just going to help him. But a huge key to what we do defensively for sure.
Thanks.